We will be starting shortly.
In mists and shadow of this accursed land, despair and death are ruled by one lord's hand. The devil dies and lives again, his rage foretold to endeth men. Under blood-red moon beat wings so soft, as darkness falls from Castle Ravenloft. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Curse of Strahd here on the High Rollers. I'm joined by these people around me. You know them, you love them. Got Rhiannon, Tom, Katie, Trot, and Kim, as we once again step into the mists of Barovia for our second episode of Curse of Strahd. I'm excited. Are you all excited?
Yeah, pumped.
Ooh!
Yeah. Very excited.
As a general warning, this show does contain descriptions of gore, horror, as well as adult language, so be aware. And yeah, I think we don't have any real announcements apart from go and watch our regular High Roll show every Sunday at 5 p.m. It's also available in podcast form. This is now available on YouTube and podcast.
Yes. Yep. It's everywhere.
It's all available. If you missed last week's, you can go check it out.
Yeah. If you want the episodes early, they go up on as podcast on the Patreon. If you want to check that out, please do.
Bam. There you go. Check that out as well.
If not, fine.
And then any donations and subs, we will read out at the end of the show. Basically, we try and save them for the end of the show. Until then, are you guys ready? I have a recap here. I have a last time on Curse of Strahd. If you're good to go.
Absolutely.
All right.
Here you go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Last time on Curse of Strahd.
4 travelers arrive at the Elf Song Tavern in Baldur's Gate as the night grows cold and a chilling rain soaks them through. The inn offers warmth but little safety as hungry eyes and nervous hands welcome them inside. Jesper, a human man who claims to be a traveler from a strange land, has been waiting for them, sent by his master to guide them to his homeland and help defeat a terrible evil that has taken them there. Shadow Beyond the Veil, a Tabaxi priest, and Ziki Mistan, a dragonborn sorceress, have both received visions from the gods to seek out this traveler and aid him. Besides them travel their own bodyguards, Rose Venendi, a human archer, and Zeros Mistan, a dragonborn who holds some connection to Ziki. Into the night they travel, and it is not long before the strange mists encircle their wagon, and they find themselves borne to a new land, a dark, dead land. And waiting for them is a strange, darkly handsome man. He hints that they have become the latest pawns in a game and introduces himself as Count Strad von Zorovich, and that this land is his, before he transforms into a swirling storm of bat-like creatures and vanishes. Finally, the group arrive in the village of Barovia, where the streets are empty and silent as a graveyard. They find solace in an inn where other Vistani welcome them and offer them some wine. Before this moment of light is shattered by screaming and the sounds of battle. Rushing to the source, the group find a mansion besieged by undead and devils, as a young man and his father desperately try to protect a young woman who is being called by Strad himself.
Well, that voice was something, huh?
Ooh, love it.
You got to set the mood. Okay?
Your tape on this boy.
Yeah, well, thank the wonders of technology, not necessarily my vocal cords. We begin inside on the upper floor. Well, kind of spread out a little bit. Mainly on the upper floor of the Burgomaster's mansion in the village of Barovia, a village that sits in the kind of bottom of a small valley and is overlooked by an ominous castle against the moonlight. You have arrived. I believe that Shadow Beyond the Veil and Rose are still downstairs, having just fended off or just used, Shadow had just used Turn Undead to scare off a number of zombies that were trying to get through the main door, which has been barricaded, heavily barred and barricaded from the inside. The rest of you ran upstairs and running into what is very clearly a young woman's bedroom. She's wearing a night dress, and she's being held back with a hand over her mouth by a very young, handsome man. Barovian, they both appear to be Barovian, and next to them is a aged father who is the one who led you upstairs, brandishing a crossbow. And the room is currently being besieged from the outside. 3 devil-like creatures, probably no bigger than a dog, but with these leathery wings and these big spined tails, are currently tearing and clawing at boards around the outside of the windows, and you can see them beginning to smash them through, break them with their claws and their fangs, scrabbling to get on the inside. And just outside the window, flying in the night air, is the man that you met before, Strad von Zarovich. This very well dressed, a metal breastplate, a large furred collar, and a billowing cloak with dark, long hair behind him, kind of flowing all around him. And he's reaching out, and you can see his eyes glow red, and he calls out to the woman once more. Come, Irina. Invite me inside so I may take you to our castle. As you guys arrive, the young man calls out once again, like, please, help me, just keep those things off of me. And you can see that he has, like, several large spines sticking out of his back where he's been struck by these kind of projectile spines, bleeding quite heavily, but he's holding his sister with a hand over her mouth, and is keeping her restrained. And that is where we're going to roll initiative. Straight off the bat.
Oh.
I need to get into here.
Done it. So he's already restraining her then?
So yes, so you can see that the young blonde man is restraining the girl.
Okay.
The three devils are breaking through the boards, and in fact, as we begin this combat, they're going to smash these boards and begin flying inside, or at least they have the capacity to. You can see Strad is outside the window, calling out to this woman, and then her father is with them as well. So let's go around with initiatives. Zeke, Miss Dan.
That's a 7.
That's a 7. Jesper.
Sorry, my thing wasn't working, so it's a 8 plus 4. 12.
12. Nice. Shadow. Beyond the veil.
18.
18. Rose.
Also 18.
I believe that means, Rose, you'll be going first. Zeros.
Oh!
Whoa, I might be going first. No, 12.
No, I meant between the two of them, Tom.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so Rose and Shadow, correct me if I'm wrong, because it has been a week, but you guys were downstairs because Shadow had just turned undead a group of zombies at the door, and Rose, I think you had gone to back her up, I think.
I feel like Rose would have backed her up. She wouldn't have left her just downstairs to run up.
Okay.
She would have been down with her.
So you guys are currently downstairs. You can hear this shouting and hollering coming from above, but you don't necessarily know exactly the situation up there yet. You can see that the zombies that were trying to break through this front door, 4 of them have run away. They've just begun backing away, moving away from the door, shielding their faces, these kind of rotten, dysmorphized kind of jaws hanging loose, flesh peeling off their bodies, covered in dirt and dust, it seems. And they begin recoiling and moving away as Shadow is basically channeling some sort of energy into the door. One of them is still there, but you don't think that one of them is going to be strong enough to break the door down on its own. It was really only because there were so many of them that they were having any success before. What would you like to do?
Is the so I can hear stuff going on upstairs though.
Yeah, you can definitely hear the sounds of like struggling and fighting. You probably could just about hear like a man's voice, but you can't really make out what was said.
Right. I will turn to Shadow and say, I think this is okay for now. I'm gonna check upstairs. Are you okay?
I'll come with you.
Ooh. Okay. That was a very cat-like voice there, Kim. I'll go upstairs then. And when I go upstairs, am I close to seeing any of these enemies?
Yeah, so if you pop on Roll20, by the way, I now have a map up for you.
To the
hang on.
Okay.
Do
It
I
looks
though?
very
See,
dark.
blackness.
It's because I keep forgetting that it's got dynamic lighting enabled. That's why.
Oh, there's
There
no
we
lights on
go.
upstairs.
There we go.
There's no lights on upstairs. So yeah, you begin making your way upstairs, Rose. By the time you kind of like complete your first set of movement, you appear to be in like a corridor. You pass like what appears to be a statue and a doorway on a landing as you make your way up to the top floor. But there is just a corridor, and you can hear that the sounds of this fighting is growing louder now.
Okay. So
In fact,
probably...
I think you would also see, just beginning to claw its way inside, one of these devil creatures is kind of pulling its way through these broken, boarded windows.
Okay. How much of my movement have I used already? Or am I
I'd
at the
say
bottom? Or am I
you've
at the
used
top?
your 30 feet. No, you're at the top of the
I've
stairs,
used my
but you've
30.
used all your movement.
Do I
Yeah.
have enough to peek around and take a shot at the one that's poking through the window?
I'd say yes,
Can
but it
I
will
get
get
a good
some
enough
cover.
view? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you get a
I'll
good
give
enough view,
shot.
but it's technically outside. It will have some cover from the boards that it's currently clawing its way through.
I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Sure.
So 4 plus 7. So,
So
11 to hit. That's not gonna hit.
You use a longbow, right? Rose
Yeah.
uses a longbow. So you pull out the wrong bow, the longbow.
longbow.
You knock an arrow.
Uh-oh.
You fire, and you're a pretty good shot. But these boards, like this creature, is quite small, and it kind of pulls itself back at the last minute, and the arrow thuds into the boards around it, and you just hear it kind of this low growling hiss, like kill you. And it begins kind of gnashing and biting at the boards to try and make a bigger hole for it to claw through.
Okay.
End of your turn?
I think I'll just finish it by shouting down to Shadow. There's definitely something unnatural here. Looks like devils.
Okay. Shadow.
Disgusting. I would like to. I will clamber up the stairs as well.
Okay.
And I guess upon seeing Spooky McDevilface,
Yeah.
can I cast a sacred flame on it?
You absolutely can. Also, just out of interest, how much knowledge do you think Shadow would have of devils in general? Because you're more undead, or would you think that there'd be? Do you think you'd have some knowledge?
I'd
of
probably say some,
hells?
given her knowledge of like the fugue plane and
Mm-hmm.
I guess just her general knowledge about life after death beliefs in
Okay. Sure,
in the
that
realm
makes
that we're
sense
in.
because you would know that. Yeah, in Toril as well. Like when a creature dies, if it's an evil creature, it goes to the Nine Hells or the Abyss, basically. Yeah, make a. I mean, you don't know if you make a religion check, you might know exactly what kind of devil this is, but it's you can tell by looking at it, it's very clearly a devil, not a demon. Which means that they're normally bound by some sort of agreement. You're not sure what kind of devil exactly it is. What was that in total, just for the podcast?
I have rolled a 4.
Hey, twinsies!
Twinsies. You're not quite sure what kind of devil this is, but yeah, you know it is a devil, not a demon. And normally these creatures are summoned for something. Yeah, and then Sacred Flame, right? So what do I need to do?
Could you please make me a dexterity saving throw 12?
12 DC?
Yes, please.
That is going to be a total of an 8.
Oh. In which case, I will make a roll of 1d8. Wait, ignore that one. That was not the right thing. Oh, wait, no, it was.
I mean, it was
okay.
a D8, yeah, it was.
I did
Yeah, I
click
was
on
going to
the
say,
D8,
yeah,
yes.
it is.
So yes, that
perfect.
was a 4.
Okay, so
Radiant damage.
What does this look like when Shadow casts this spell?
So I would think similar to the Turn Undead spell, it would look like a bolt of gold. Almost in the shape of a... Oh, hello. In the shape of a... I
Shots
guess
like-
in the vague shape of a scarab beetle kind of flying out towards the devil. But there would be a tinge of shadow coiled around the edges.
Okay. It's kind of almost propelling it. Yeah, and you see it strike the devil itself, and it yelps in this kind of high-pitched, quite horrible screech, like as it kind of recoils back as the gold flames lick at its flesh and its scales, and it's just like holy magic, kill. It just begins kind of hissing to itself. End of your go.
Yes.
Yeah, this one will burst inside. Kill everyone inside. Kill you. And it begins flying towards you. It will probably towards Shadow and Rose. And it begins making its way towards the two of you, and with a flick of its tail, these two spines come flying out towards each one of you, basically. So one attack against both of you, against each of you, sorry. So against Shadow, that's a 6 to hit.
That does not hit.
And against Rose, very bad rolling for me, 9 to hit.
No.
So you guys managed to kind of pull yourself back as these huge spines, they hit into the wooden kind of stairs and walls around you, but you can see the spines themselves are so hot that they little flames kind of erupt as they strike. And yeah, the wood around like the furniture and stuff like that is kind of caught alight, if not massively, but enough that if left undealt with, it will probably develop into a flame over time. For those of you in the room, that's its go. Those of you in the room, which is Jesper, Ziki, and Zeros, you see that the young, quite handsome-looking guy, there are some swords and things, but they're on the ground, and he just continues to maintain this grip on this woman that he's holding, and he begins dragging her backwards. I'm just going to make a quick test to see if he can do that successfully. Ooh. So I think he is going to struggle a little.
Uh-oh.
She's wriggly.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so she doesn't quite break free, but she avoids, like, he can't drag her back. He's trying to drag her back to what appears to be a wooden door, but she's, like, trying to break free. She gets loose of his arms, but he's still got a hand over her mouth for now. But you can see her eyes are glazed over, and she's almost reaching out towards the window where you can see the flying figure beyond it. And she's looking at it desperately, but yeah, her mouth is currently shut, so she does nothing. One of the other devil-like creatures bursts through and will fly to over the bed, and it will try and hit the handsome man with 2 of its spines. Missing on the first one with a 1, and then missing on the second one as well. As the spines bounce off, you can see he's wearing like a scale mail armor, and it just kind of pings off the armor itself. And the creature just kind of perches itself on the top of the bed and just, must kill all inside. After that creature goes, you see the man outside the window. He looks in all of your directions, seeing Jesper and Zeros. And Jesper, you would notice certainly the inescapable look of displeasure crosses this pale, very handsome but very dark face as his brow furrows. He looks around. I tire of these games, Irina. The rest of you, stay out of my way. He waves his hand, and he is going to cast a spell into the room. He will cast this spell. So, Zeros and Jesper, I need you both to... In fact, actually, you don't need to do anything. I need to make a roll.
Oh,
shit. He's going to cast it at 3rd level. So, 8. So, sorry, bear with me.
We're dead. 98.
So, you watch as this wave of black mist, it rolls through the room, and you see the older gentleman that kind of brought you upstairs. His eyes kind of just flutter for a moment, and then he falls asleep. He just collapses to the ground, fast asleep, as he does. So that takes off 9. So what does that leave me with? That leaves me with 22. So Jesper and Zeros, how much health do you have? And Zika technically as well.
In order
how
of
much?
what?
What's your maximum hit points?
21.
20.
21. So 20 is the lowest. Okay. Okay, so Zika, as you're kind of watching all of this happen, as this mist kind of rolls through past your brother, your eyes become so heavy and weary, you just feel yourself just, and poof, you kind of fall asleep slumping to the ground, down as well, as you are affected by the sleep spell.
Oh.
I don't believe you get a save. I believe it just has to roll over your hit points, which it does. For the remaining amount.
Yeah.
But the rest of you managed to stay awake. The rest of you, the spell is not strong enough to affect the rest of you, but you see the other two kind of slump down. And Strahd just once again just kind of speaks out, just like, invite me in, Arena. Let us end this little game. Invite me inside so I can take you. As he calls out, his voice kind of echoing through. And you can see her desperately trying to reach over her now sleeping older man.
Crikey.
Zeros, you're up.
What mechanically can I do to wake Zeke up?
So, if each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends, the sleeper takes damage or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake.
I'm wondering if I would do that. I'm not sure. I think as she's falling to get onto the ground, I'd catch her and then walk her down into this room on the just to the right of us. Yeah. And then kind of lay her in there.
Okay. So you put her on the rug on the floor. Yep.
So
it's what, like 5, 10?
To, carry her?
No, I'd say that's your movement, right? Like, she's sleeping, she can't resist you. It's not much for you to just scoop her up as a bonus action or part of the movement and then just move her in. But it takes you you move at half speed while you're carrying somebody, so 10, 20, 30. So you'd end your turn here. That's your end of your movement. You'd put her down, and then you have an action and a bonus action left.
I guess action. If something comes into this room, then I'll attack it. But okay, I don't think he would wake her up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Jesper.
I think I would assist the young man, understanding the power that Strad has over the authorities and their sirens. And
well, Jesper, you would also know that he until he is invited, he cannot come in this house.
We must protect the precious girl. We must find a way.
You say this to nobody as you watch Zeros carry his unconscious sister away.
I'm saying it to the young guy that's holding...
to the guy. Yeah, so he looks at you, he's like, please, my friend, you must help. And you can see his bleeding quite heavily from these spines. The devils, they've been sent to kill me so he can take her. Deal with them.
Can I? Because I'm fast as shit, right, Mark? Don't forget
you
that.
are fast as shit.
Dex is real high, so I should have at least 3 actions here. So...
No, but you can tell me what you want to do.
Can I cast Heroism on him?
Right.
And I want to use the butt of my offhand dagger as kind of like a bonus action to try and knock out Irina.
I will say you can definitely cast Heroism on him.
If I can only do one, can I knock her around the head?
Okay, yeah. I mean, basically, I would say that because you can normally make a offhand attack as a bonus action when you make the attack action, but because of the mechanics. But what I'm going to say is that casting a spell and making an attack are about the same amount of effort. So quickly trying to knock her out, you can absolutely try that.
I would say
you can cast Heroism and make an offhand attack.
This has to happen. And I'll just hit her around the head. Take her away.
Okay. I mean, he's too slow. He can't really stop you. So.
Bam! Do I need to make an attack?
You will need to make an attack roll against her. Yeah, you have advantage because she is technically kind of half being grappled still. And then when you make your damage, you don't roll. You don't add your modifier to it.
It's just
so it's just 4 points. So because you don't add the modifier. Do you have 2-weapon fighting?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
If you do, then you do add the full amount. Yeah. So. New characters, guys. We'll get there. So you strike her, and I think that it's not quite enough to knock her out. You kind of daze her, and you see the young man sort of angrily look at you, but he understands what you're doing. He's just like, I was hoping it would not come to that, and he kind of like tries to reel her in.
You know the power of
Strad.
Strad. Take him away. Take her away.
She's still conscious, but obviously dazed. But I think no, that wouldn't necessarily trigger her to make a saving throw. And then you cast heroism on him. Remind me what heroism does.
It makes him immune to Strad.
It doesn't, but carry on.
Willing creature, imbued with bravery, immune to being frightened, and gains temporary hit points equal to the spellcasting ability modifier, which would be a +2.
+2. All right, so he gets 2 temporary hit points for now, and he gets them at the start of every turn.
Invigoration, so to speak.
Yeah, you cast that into him. As you're doing all of this, one of the last kind of devil creature breaks its way into the room and flies in your direction with its claws and talons lifted to try and strike you. As it does. In fact, actually, no, it won't strike you. It will fly to this corner of the room, and then it flicks its tail to hit you with its spines. 2 attacks against you, Jesper.
15-foot tail. Okay.
Well, the spines come flying out as it flicks its tail.
Right.
The spines fly out like projectiles.
Gotcha.
First one's only a 9 to hit you.
No.
And then I can't roll for shit, so the second one is only a 11 to hit you.
You can't dodge this.
You kind of parry them out of the air, dodging to the side as the second one comes flying in. And like before, as they strike the kind of wooden walls around you, this intense heat built up around the spines kind of ignites, and you see like these little flames beginning to burn and scorch the wood where they were. Zeke, it would be your turn, but unfortunately I put you to sleep. I'm sorry.
Nap time for me. It's alright.
Zeke, you're sleepy.
Zeke, you're
Zeke, you're sleepy.
Rose, we come back up to you at the top.
Oh, hello. Okay, so if I was to put out this tiny flame, would that be like a bonus action or anything?
Yeah, like
Just a little...
while it's still small, you can stamp it out with a foot. I'm not even going to make it an action to do it. You can literally just stamp on it while it is. But if you didn't do that, if they build up, if they get bigger, then it will obviously take more effort to put them out.
Cool. I think I'm just going to take another shot at the little thing.
The devil.
With my longbow. That's the one. 11 plus 7, 18 to hit.
That definitely will hit this thing.
Yay! I hit a thing!
Now you need to remember what this new character does.
Yeah.
6 damage. Thank
right,
you.
6 damage. Yep.
Yes. That's it for this one.
Okay, alright.
We're too low level for multi-attacks at the moment.
No, no. Do you have to designate something as your Monster Slayer thing?
I don't think so. I think it's...
That is extra damage.
Oh wait, hang on.
You have favorite
Learning
enemy
Yes.
Yeah, it's well, for Monster Slayer it's
It's only once per long rest, so it's like a one-time thing, I think.
I don't think it is. Well, we'll have a read of it. Shadow,
I'll read it, but I think from what I can see on D&D Beyond, it looks like that to me. So,
okay.
I'm
Shadow,
probably done. I might move a little bit.
How is the little crunchy boy looking?
he looks injured for sure. But yeah, he's still up and fighting. He's taken a longbow, but yeah, these things are covered in thick scales and spines. So even though it's been struck a few times, it's still raring to go.
Do you know what? Let's live a little and cast a guiding bolt.
Okay.
So ranged spell attack. So I
Katie,
need to roll.
on your character sheet, look at Slayer's Prey. It's under your features. As a bonus action, you designate one creature you can see within 60 feet, and then you get to do an extra d6 damage to it once per turn.
But this benefit lasts until you finish a short or long rest.
Yeah, so you,
or if
you use it
designate
once. Yeah.
So I guess I was just trying not to waste it on a tiny...
No, you can't waste it. This benefit lasts until you take a short, long rest. That means the creature stays your target for that period, and then you just pick a new one, I think. I
think Hunter's Mark is the one that moves.
Is it like Hunter's Mark? Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it moved.
I think so. Have a read of it. Shadow, that is a 1 plus 4.
I rolled a natural 1, Mark.
And I don't believe Guiding Bolt has an effect on a miss.
I think that means that the guiding bolt turns around and shoots me in the face.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not that mean.
Yeah.
Shadow's
I'm not that mean. No, you just summon the energy, and it just this place is so infused. Like this whole land, wherever you find yourself, you struggle to conjure enough energy, and as you let it go, it kind of dissipates in front of you. Some sort of power preventing.
Yeah. It's just terrible. However, can I'll move a little bit. I'm going to move a little bit. 5, 10. I'm kind of tempted to go past this little thing.
Sure.
But it's going to swipe at me, isn't it?
I mean, it might do.
Yeah, let's try. So where was I? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm going to move past it.
Okay. It will take a swipe at you with its... It has, like, you can see it's kind of holding, like, a little spear in its little claws. It's kind of clutching, like, a little, like, almost like a larger version of one of its tail spines. And it will swing that at you for a 9 to hit.
That does not hit me, no.
It just swipes over as you kind of duck underneath it as you begin running past the creature down the hallway. And yeah, you can see doors, like, well, you can't see them yet, but you can, again, hear that sound of battle growing faster. The creature will, the little spine devil that was fighting the two of you that just took a swing at you, it's going to do the same thing it did before. It's going to flick a tail spine at each one of you. So towards Rose, it flicks one for a 21 to hit.
Might hit.
So you're going to take 4 piercing damage and then 3 fire damage. As this thing kind of hits into your body, the intense heat is so much, it begins to, like, the flesh begins to bubble and sear. You kind of have to quickly pull it out before it does any lasting damage to your skin. Shadow, that's only a 7 to hit you. So again,
that does not hit.
One of the spines flies past, embeds into the doors that you seem to be moving past, and just begins igniting those doors on a flame.
I like to think it's because Shadow's just, like, gone down on all fours and is doing like a little cat
just like
scamper.
darting along the ground. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, perfectly works. The handsome young man with his sister will attempt once again to try and drag her back. This time far more successful. He manages to kind of back her up into this room. And you can see him basically trying to throw her to the side so he can get in front of her to close the door. But that's going to be pretty much his turn. One of these creatures will hover up to the ceiling of the room and fling 2 spines in his direction. The spines fly overhead, but you see the young man kind of throws the sister to the side or the girl to the side, and then he shuts the door just in time for these spines to kind of through them before he kind of opens them again to step through and make his way back out. Strad looks at Jesper. Dare strike her. You have no idea what you've done, boy! And he will be very mad. He will look at you, Jesper, and he will... Would he do this, or would he do this? He would...
Vaporize.
That risks hurting her, but this doesn't.
Daddy Maddie.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
21.
Oh, natural 20.
That's 20.
That's very good, because...
Jesus.
So you watch
88.
as he reaches his hand out, and from the window, you see these tendrils of black smoke erupt from his arm, just in this sudden surge of movement, like snakes. They twist and coil through the air, and they bite onto your flesh, Jesper, and you feel the life force of your very energy, your essence being drained away. You would have taken 30 necrotic damage, but you half it to 15.
Still pretty nasty there. Down to 6
yes.
HP.
So you
Was
just
that a
watch,
blight,
and he's...
Marco?
Yes, it was. And he just kind of like clutches it, and his eyes, you can see them now. Where before, when you saw this man, there was a placid, almost calm look on his face. His face is now twisted into rage, these fangs bared. How dare you harm her? And he kind of yanks on the smoke as he watches your form kind of shudder and shake from the black magic surging through you. But he looks amazed that you're still standing as he does that.
Crikey.
I will not fall to the darkness so easily.
You will do as you are commanded, boy.
Maybe in 6 HP's time.
The young woman desperately, you can see her, she desperately tries to break free of the man that dragged her into the room beyond. She manages to kind of reach the door. She kind of goes to say something before the man shoves her back and shuts the door in front of her, and you just hear this muffled like, but it's not enough, and you can see Strahd's face just like, no, Irina. Zeros.
So, for Katie's benefit, Slayer's Prey is a bonus action, and you can do that as many times as you want.
I thought that's what it was, yeah. But
okay, because I just looked it up and it said this benefit lasts until you finish a short or long rest. It ends early if you designate a different creature.
Yeah, so the benefit on that one creature lasts until a short or long rest.
Until you take a rest, yeah.
You can just bonus action whenever you want to Slayer's Prey.
Yeah, that's how I figured it worked.
So I can do it to anyone. For as many times
but
as
as
I
soon
want.
as you create a new, as soon as you target a new creature, the old one fades. That's what it means, basically. Yeah.
So it's clearing my little noggin now.
No. It was confusing as well. Yeah.
It was the way it was worded. I was like, I don't know if that's unlimited or not, and I didn't want to waste it on a tiny little shit.
No. I think it is, but you have to use a bonus action to
Got it.
because it's only a d6 once per thing anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Got it.
Right, Zeros.
So I'm gonna leave the room that Zeke is in, close the door firmly behind me, and as the blight dissipates from behind Jesper, Zeros appears.
this like 6 foot tall black dragonborn.
Yeah, I like materialize out of his blight, and I am going to go and wail on this thing on the bed. Phrasing.
It's kind of like floating at the top of the room, but within reach, easily enough.
Yes, so with my greatsword, I'm just gonna... Actually, I'm gonna do a goading attack.
Okay.
So, when I hit a creature with a weapon attack, I can expend a superiority die. So let's see if I hit first.
Yep.
16.
16 will indeed hit this small creature. It's small and mobile, but yeah, once your sword connects with it, there's barely anything to defend it.
Cool, I do 13 damage with that, and I'll expend a superiority. 2. So they now make a wisdom saving throw, DC 14. Damn it.
Yeah, it passes, but doesn't it also, when you expend it, it deals extra damage as well?
I don't think on goading attack I do. So I expend a superiority die. I add the total to the damage as well. Ooh.
There you go. So you roll a d8, and you get to add that as well.
2
more points. So you strike at the ground. What do you say? Do you say anything? How are you goading it?
I hit its arms. Because the goading attack, what it does is it has disadvantage on all attack rolls on targets other than me.
Yeah, it's like a taunt.
Right, so I just really fucking stare it down.
You're just like staring this devil dead in the eyes.
I just came out of a blight. It wants to go for me.
Yeah. It looks at you. I mean, you definitely get the fact, whether or not you succeeded, you definitely get the sense it's probably going to try and fight you next. So, it definitely goes for you. Jesper.
I'm going to shake off that horrific blight. Kind of get my head back
and it's like you can see
game.
your veins are almost dark in your arms. Wherever the smoke touched you, your skin is like ash gray, and it feels sickly and pallid.
I'll dart towards the creature directly in front of me here. And I will attack them with a defensive flourish. So what this allows me to do is when I take an attack action, my speed increases 10 feet, which doesn't really matter. If the weapon attack hits, I can expend one of my bardic inspiration to deal extra damage equal to the number I roll on the dice, and also add that number to my AC as well.
Great. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, doesn't it just? Marku-san.
Let's see if you hit.
Ding dong. 20.
Yeah, that will hit. 4 piercing damage.
Piercing. And then I get to roll an extra D8, correct?
Yeah, is your Bardic Inspiration D8 or is it D6?
Oh, is it based on my Bardic Inspiration?
I think that's what you just
It's
said.
a D6.
There you go. Bam.
3. So I get to add that to
3
my
more points.
AC as well.
And you add 3 to your AC as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, this thing on its go, it will... the one that you've just struck with your rapier, you kind of lash out and cut towards it. Or is it a rapier you've got, or...?
Yes.
Yeah. So you kind of slash it once, and then it will... Basically, it will do... Yeah, it doesn't provoke an opportunity attack when it flies out. This thing is so quick and nippy, it kind of just bats its wings and jerks away from you really quite rapidly. And it backs itself up into this far corner, and then it's going to fling 2 of its spines towards you again, lashing out with each one. So that's going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, I got AC 17.
Is that with the +3 currently?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. The next one misses, but the first one will hit for 4 points of piercing damage. Okay. And then 3 points of fire damage.
Yeah, down.
Oh.
Oh,
It's okay.
shit.
So close.
Right.
Save!
So you watch,
The girl.
Jesper kind of like, this spine hits you in the side, and this intense fiery pain bursts out around it, and just combined with the crippling black smoke, you lose consciousness as you fall down to the ground in a big slump. You just see Strad kind of watching you as you kind of... The last thing you see as you're kind of falling unconscious is just his dead eyes staring at you, waiting, watching. Ziki, I'm so sorry, you're still asleep.
Sleepy
I
sleep.
hit you that sleep spell,
I'm
but it's
so
like,
sorry.
man. Yeah, Rose.
That's all good.
Me again? Okay.
Yep, top of the round.
I will try and finish off the little shit that's in front of
little
me.
guy, yeah.
So I'm
Flying
gonna
around.
take. I'll do bonus action Slayer's Prey then, and I will take a shot at it.
Okay. You hone your senses as a monster slayer.
14
that's
plus
definitely gonna hit.
7.
That definitely hits.
And then it will be 9 points of damage with the bow and 5 points of damage Slayer's Prey.
And with that, the Slayer's Prey, you kind of hone your senses, the training you've had, knowing where to strike on devils and things like that. You launch your attack. Damn it, I've forgotten the whole thing this whole time. The attack flies through, and it strikes the creature in the chest, and you hear it just kind of like, as it just turns to ash in front of you and just vanishes.
Wonderful.
So I will move my 30 feet to the corner and try and stay in front of Shadow and try and be like, be careful, careful. I don't know how many of them there are, okay?
Shadows go next.
So I'm gonna move past Rose. 5, 10. I'm just gonna be like, I heard something. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, there's the door is shut on the other side, so you don't see Ziki sleeping inside.
I wouldn't have seen any
Zero
of that
shut the door.
business.
Yeah.
But let me just check.
I'm so sorry, Rhiannon.
Spell.
That's all
Oh,
good.
sorry.
So
Zeros is not.
I think I'll probably
Yes.
burst into the room and see Jesper on the ground.
Yeah, you
And
see
I'm
him
gonna-
like clutching the spine in his gut and unconscious.
So I'm going to use my feline agility, which means I can double my speed until the end of my turn and run over to him.
Ooh.
Yep.
And
So you kind of a quick
then-
burst of speed like Chitara in the Thundercats.
And then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
And I have an ability called Circle of Mortality, which means I can restore maximum hit points instead of rolling the dice with healing spells to a creature with 0 HP.
You do indeed.
So he will
2d8
automatically
is 16 plus your wisdom.
+2. So 16,
Okay,
17,
so
18,
18 hit
hit
points.
points.
Wow.
So what does this look like for Shadow? Because there's, I mean, obviously with your goddess,
Look at
because me and you know
Tom's
who
face.
that is, but the audience
Yeah.
doesn't.
What it looks
what does
like,
this
Mark,
look like?
is it looks like a cleric healing someone in the middle
Oh,
of a
there it is!
Sorry, hang on. How did you get 18? I need to know how you got 18.
Because Shadow is a grave cleric, yeah, they have an ability which, when they heal to somebody who's at 0, it heals the maximum number on the dice possible.
Fucking grave clerics are better than Arcana at healing.
Well, yes, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Not a life domain cleric. Arcana, all right?
I mean,
a guiding bolt.
It's mainly the choice to actually heal in the first place that was the main thing here.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, set the
I
scene.
would
So, yeah,
rush
what does
into
it
the
look like?
room. I would rush into the room, see Jesper on the ground, be like, no, and run over. Immediately put my paw to I think his heart is. I presume that Vishtani
Same.
have hearts the same place humans do. And I would start muttering
think?
prayers under my breath. And as the prayers kind of take hold, again, this kind of golden but black tinged light builds throughout my body, shoots through my hand, and goes into Jesper's body. And you almost see shadows form across his face and go into his mouth and nose. And he'll jerk awake.
Okay. You are quite close to Xeros as you're doing this. And Xeros, you don't quite hear every word that Shadow says in these prayers. But there is one word, and I don't know, this might not mean anything to Xeros. But you hear the word Shah. It's just saying. Nope.
How much healing
Anyway,
is that?
18.
18.
Thank you.
That's your full turn, right, Kim? Because that's bonus action for feline agility, move,
done.
and then your action to heal. Perfect. The spine devil in the hallway is dead. The young man comes out, now out of the room, looks around, and you see him kind of breathe this sigh of relief. And he's just like, thank you. We must deal with these devils and then get out of sight of him. And then he points at the window. And you see him rush over, and underneath Xeros' feet, he picks up a longsword. And he will turn on the devil next to Xeros as well. He will make 2 attacks. He'll hit with the first one, and he will hit with the second one. That's an 18 plus 5, and a 17 plus 5. And then he will do 11. And then, that's the max damage I could have rolled on 2 attacks. 2 11 points of damage.
Boy,
to the
I like this guy.
which basically the one that you were fighting, Xeros, this man comes up and completely steals the kill from you. He runs up, and with 2 hacking blows, he just cuts its head and its wings off. And you see the same thing, that as it dies, it explodes and turns into a fiery burst of ash, basically, as it erupts.
Growling.
Strad looks into the room. Looks at Shadow healing the Vistani, sees this young man who's now, sealed his sister away, looks at the one remaining devil he has, and then just floats backwards away from the window. And you see him beginning to, anybody who can glance out of the window sees him moving towards the rest of the village. Like he's moving towards the main central part of the village itself. You hear loud banging coming from the door where the woman has been placed in, and then Xeros, it is your turn.
Okay, after growling at this guy for stealing my kill, it's like an action to, slam into someone if I was to run at them, right?
Yes, yeah. It uses one of your attack actions.
Right, okay. In that case, I will just go with an old classic greatsword.
Swing that greatsword.
11.
This one manages to just barely kind of flap its way out and kind of dodge to the side as it maneuvers past you.
I'll be better than this guy.
Jesper, you are conscious.
I will grip Shadow by the arm and say, I owe you a life debt. I will repay it. And I'm going to look out the window further and see what Strad is doing.
Yeah. So you move over to the window.
Move over to the window
you kind
quickly.
Yeah, it's partially boarded. It was just big enough for these smaller creatures to get inside, but you can see him just very calmly flying, just his cloak billowing behind him. You can almost see like a swirl of mist at his feet. And he's flown basically over towards the center of the village, like above it. But he is just flying that direction.
He is planning something, I don't know what.
Anything
is she
else?
safe? I call out
I
to
believe
the
so.
younger man.
She's. There's only one way out of the closet, so.
We must all retreat into the shadows. Become hidden.
I don't think I have enough shadows for everyone.
There is still one little devil. He's just like, we deal with this first.
Have I used all my action doing all that? Talking,
No.
looking out the
Just
window?
looking out the window. I'm not going to make you.
In which case,
use it.
while I'm talking to them calmly, I'll be stabbing the living shit out of this devil.
Sure.
We must go into the hide, everybody. So
That's a mood.
run up and rapier strike with a 20 again and 6 piercing, and I've got 2 weapon fighting, so
As a bonus action, you can make an attack with your dagger.
which is a 22 and a 6 piercing.
Wow.
Fucking hell. Yeah, you come in and Zeros, kind of very similar to what just happened, doesn't quite destroy it. I keep forgetting to half the damage. Completely forgotten a mechanic for these things. But you watch as the Jesper kind of flies up and with 2 strikes manages to almost tear one of this creature's wings off. It's alive, but barely. It's kind of just flapping around somewhat uselessly, unable to really get any momentum for where it wants to go.
You don't deserve to live in the
Rose.
mortal plane. Stay dead.
Soon eat flesh, kill.
I will come into the room, look around, see there's still one left, and take a shot at it.
Sure.
Can I move my bonus action? Move my little Slayer's
it's
Prey
your bonus
over?
action. Again, focusing those highly
12
tuned
plus 7.
Monster Hunter settings. Yep, hits.
And I did 11 with the bow and 5 with the Slayer's Prey.
You take aim, and with one arrow, it slips between Zeros and Jesper, and just it sticks the creature to the wall, the back wall that it's currently flapping against. The arrow pins it through the chest to the wall. It lets out one sort of final, and then it just turns to ash and dust, spilling onto the
Quickly
chair below it.
Dart out the way and then look in both bewilderment and impressiveness at Rose. Like, wow, okay.
I'm an okay shot, yeah.
I want to stomp out of the room and then go into the one that Zeke is in as I'm going past Rose. Nice shot. And then try and wake up Zeke.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. It takes like some gentle shaking and vigorous shaking, kind of like nudging and things like that. But yeah, Zeke, you come to not quite feeling refreshed, but yeah, feeling as if like you've just fallen asleep. You know, that kind of you just doze off without realizing it vibe.
I just drowsy to be like, Zeros, I'm dead. Did I die? Am I dead? Zeros,
Dead.
what happened?
We're going.
What happened? Are you okay? What happened? What? Where am I?
I'm gonna hold a hand out to her. As I'm like standing
Alright,
up.
I just take his hand and just drearily stand up.
Yeah, you seem to be in
I'll
some
try
sort
and-
of bedroom. The two of you seem to be in a bedroom. There's like hunting trophies on some of the walls. There is a rack with like some various swords and then bows and things like that and arrows. A single bed, a desk. Not too much, but yeah, this looks to be like a hunter's room, like somebody who does a lot of hunting. Those of you in the other room, the young man kind of goes over to the older one and is like, Father, wake up! We're all right. We're okay. And you see the older man sort of beginning to come round, and the fellow is just like, thank you, strangers. I don't know who you are or where you have come from. I know that you are not from around here, but thank you. My name is Ismark. This is my father, Kolyana. And the woman you just saved is Irina, my sister. Thank you. The devil has been trying to get her for the last few nights, and well, this time he set those things on us. I thought that we were gone for. Thank you.
Why? Why does he want her?
We don't know. He came. She began speaking of strange dreams, of a man that would visit her and speak to her through her window, but we did not think much of it. And then one night, I heard him. I came bursting in and saw him at the window, reaching out for her, trying to get her to invite him in. I knew the devil as soon as I saw him, and well, I wrestled her away, and he grew furious. He then set creatures made of creatures of undeath against our house, wolves, bats, and then lately those things. I don't know what sort of creature they are, but they had flame and claws, like nothing I've seen before. The older man is just like, they are devils, my boy. I have heard legends of them. They are creatures of night, like the devil, like he is. Thank you. Thank you all. You don't know. You've saved us.
Does the old man look wounded?
He doesn't look wounded. Ismark does. Ismark has got several of these spines, and you can see him bleeding. But he seems pretty tough. He's struggling through it. But the old man just he does look exhausted and stressed. Like, he's pale. You can see that his eyes are all bloodshot. You don't think he's slept in days. He looks battered. He looks on the verge of breaking. But yeah, Zeros and Ziki, do you guys regroup with everyone else?
Yeah, I think as he's saying you're all saved, can I push past him, say, you're not saved yet, and look through the window for Strad?
None of us are saved here, my good dragons that walk on two legs like men. You truly are strangers to this land. As you say that, Tom, and you look out, Zeros, you get the best view of this. You and Jesper both kind of watching to see what Strahd does. You see flame. An eruption of fire and smoke in mid-air. As whatever form he had before, Strahd now becomes a swirling mass of black fog and smoke, and a giant visage of his face looms over the town.
People of Barovia, hear me speak as your lord and master. My great work calls me away from claiming what is mine, so listen well. If the Burgomaster's daughter Irina is not brought to my castle in 3 days' time, I will unleash a suffering onto this village the likes of which you have never known. 3 days to bring me the girl, or my wrath shall fall upon you as fire and death.
And as it does, the mist coalesces into a single point and erupts once more into a storm of bats, flying up towards the shadowy castle looking over the village.
Oh no! He went!
I would like to exit this campaign, Mark.
Nope.
Yes. I'm just going to walk back.
You see...
Nope.
You see Ismark and his father Kolyana there. I mean, if they could get more pale, they do. Their eyes are wide. They look at each other with a glance. They look at you. They look to the window, and they seem speechless for the moment. You hear like a banging, like a coming from the door, just like, "What, brother? What is going on? What is happening out there? I feel so strange. The dreams. He came to me in my dreams again, I think. What? Did you put me in here?" Bang, bang, bang.
Is that Irina?
Yes, that is Irina. I'm not sure if she is fully to her senses, but he kind of looks at you all. Strangers, I know that this is much to ask, but will you help us more? I must take Irina away from this place. We must get out of Barovia tonight, if we can. the people will not show us any mercy. If the devil has commanded them to do this, they will no doubt be gathering now in mobs to come here.
What have
Please,
we done?
I will help you. I will help fight. I've trained all of my life to kill the devil, to free my people, to free our land. I will come and fight with you. But please, take my sister. There must be somewhere we can go. There's a town to the west. It has walls, and the people there have always fought against the devil. Perhaps there we can be safe.
This is madness. You don't understand. You can't fight Strad. He can kill us all with the blink of his eye.
No, that is superstition, Vistani, my friend, Vistani friend. He is powerful, yes, he has magic, but you see him now. He could not enter this building without permission. He must use his servants to do this bidding for him. The town to the west, Valaki, I'm sure that the people there, or perhaps your people, the Vistani, they could take Irina away. They could take her out of the mists, yes?
Don't you take her to my people. Don't you bring his wrath upon them.
His wrath is already here. He has blighted our land for generations, for centuries. We are just cattle, pieces of a game to him. He will always rule over us. Whatever suffering he inflicts upon Barovia, he inflicts it just by his mere presence. He is ruining this land. We must do something. If he wants Irina, it must be for a reason. And if we can deny him that, maybe there's something special about her, something that we can use to fight him.
I kind of look for
Please.
any sign of motivation from the rest of the people in this room, because I'm at a loss.
The father, the older man, looks at you with kind of shaking hands. He's like, I will give you whatever wealth I have. I have coins, a magic thing that I could give you as payment. You're kind. You do things for money, I think. Some of you have come to Barovia before. I will give you everything I have. Just please, do not let the devil take my daughter.
Irina, what say you? Why
She's currently
do
behind
you
a door.
find this man fascinating?
So you go up to the door.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll probably whisper it. I don't know, say it through a crack or something like that.
Clawing under the door.
Zeki's next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeki's
I'll
next
claw
to you.
under the door with my little claw, like cats do.
She doesn't seem to be able to fully hear. She's just like, I can only hear some of it. The door is quite thick. And it's kind of muffled, kind of coming through like this. And she must be pressed up right against it. Like, who are you? Who is there? Is Mark father? Who are these people? What is happening?
I think
I'll
the
move
decision
s-
has to be with her.
Yeah,
We can try
I'll
and
start
help.
moving to open the door.
Maybe, if we take her away, do you think that we would have a better chance of lifting whatever curse is over this land?
I don't know, good lady. The Vistana, they know the devil better than anyone, and he kind of looks at Jesper. But I don't know. I know that many people have tried to fight against him before. Adventurers like yourselves and people, saints and holy men. They have all been destroyed. I've been training my whole life, but I know that on my own it will not be enough. There must be something. He must fear something. He claims to be a god, but I know that he is not. He cannot be. There's no... And he kind of looks dejected. He's like, I don't know. Zeki, what are you doing at this point, by the way?
I suppose. Well,
You're just kind of
she's still
watching
quite
everything?
dreary,
Hmm.
so she's just like trying to make head and tails of what's going on. She's just like,
Mhm.
what is happening right now? She's got
Sure.
no idea.
Okay. Did you say you were trying to do something, Shadow, I think, just before?
I think I would start opening the door.
Yeah, there's like nervous looks, but nobody stops you doing it. You kind of open the door, you see before you a very, very beautiful woman. I can show you what she looks like.
Hmm.
I think I can, anyway. I've got to find her in my list of stuff that I've got.
Oh, glad to use that again.
Oh, wow.
Damn it.
No wonder Strad wants her.
So, she doesn't have any armor and she doesn't have a weapon. She's kind of wearing like a thin night dress, like a white kind of long night dress. She has like dark skin, brown hair, quite long. She looks a little bit dazed, a little bit not quite there. You can see, I'd say, Shadow, you kind of notice that there are very faint marks on her neck, like 2 little pinpricks along her neck. But she looks a little weak, perhaps a little anemic, almost like her skin is quite pale. And she kind of blinks a little bit as she looks at you for the first time. What? What are you? Who are you? My apologies. Who are these people? Father Ismark. What is happening?
Can I take a claw and not a claw, but like just kind of gently sort of angle her neck to look? And is there sorry, given my knowledge of medicine and things like that, can I make some sort of medicine check to see like why she's pale and anemic? Like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you don't need to make a check for that. Normally blood loss will do that to a person. And yeah, these look quite old, like maybe 3 or 4 days old, so they've started healing and scarring and scabbing. But yeah, they look like two incisor marks on the neck. And yeah, it's probably blood loss. She's probably lost a lot of blood recently.
Oh. Do I recognize her face?
Anything about vampires, like our characters?
There's something.
Yeah, we know nothing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, some people.
I think Rose will.
I think Rose absolutely would know. But we'll get to that in a minute, because Jesper, as you're looking at her face, there is... you've never met this woman before, but yet you still know her face. There's something timeless about it. Like a woman you've heard described in stories too many times around a campfire. She's beautiful, but also strong, and she carries a grace, a nobility that most Barovians don't really have. There is something oddly familiar about her, even though you know you've never ever met this person before. Yeah, Rose. I mean, right now, like, Shadow is kind of looking at them. You haven't seen the marks on the neck, only Shadow has at the moment. But yeah, she kind of looks around and sort of, Arena blinks and takes you all in for a moment. Strangers, what are you doing? Was that... I heard a man's voice just now. And her expression goes dark, and she kind of looks horrified. It was him, wasn't it? The devil came to me again. He came. And she kind of like slams her fist on the door frame. Ismark kind of like tries to brush you aside. It's like, it's okay, Arena, it's okay. These people helped us. They managed to stop him again. We won't let him take you. We won't. And you can see her hands are kind of shaking and trembling. I don't know how he gets into my head, Ismark. He speaks in a voice, and his eyes, they glow, and then it's like I can't resist him. I don't want to. I don't want to go with him. But I can't help it. I didn't... You're hurt. And she seems to notice his wounds for the first time. You got hurt defending me again. It's all right, Irina. It's okay. It's all right. We'll figure this out. And there's this moment of stillness comes across the room.
I walk slowly towards Irina. You... Who are you?
I am Irina, daughter of the Burgomaster.
I turn to the man. Who is she?
Ismark is just like, what are you asking, Vistani? She's my sister. We've grown up. She is my little sister. I don't know what you're asking.
Why you? Why did he pick you?
I don't know. He speaks as if he speaks to me like a lover would. I don't know. Perhaps he is attracted to me, I guess. I don't know. And she kind of looks at you sternly. I'm no servant of the devil, unlike you, Vistani.
Hold on a second. No, don't you go making accusatory things at the
We know what
Vistani.
your people are the ones who bring unfortunate fellows like these ones here. We've seen it before. You bring them, and he kills them.
That
Just
may
because
be
you are
some.
special.
Don't accuse us all of the same. We are not all like that. Like
This
I'm sure
one just
some...
saved your life.
Thank you, big dragon man. 2 legs. Amazing.
Ismark puts a hand on Irina's shoulder. It's true, he did. And I
Not
know
all
that
Vistani are the
they
same.
upset you. No, but she is upset, my friend. She is upset and distraught. Please forgive her for her brashness. It's something that Father and I have always had to deal with. She's headstrong.
I understand. Well, let me frustrate you further. Irina, I wish to take you to my superior. She knows a lot. She is very wise. And she should read you in your destiny. It is important.
Ismark looks at you. So you'll take her away from here, from the people, before they can get their hands on her.
There is something about you, Irina, that fills me with something. I don't know. It's deep. And it's woven into my history, my past. Vistani talk of it. You seem familiar. I don't know. There's something. Maybe the cards will know more.
I don't know what you speak of, Vistani, but if it takes me away from the devil, I will go. If Ismark and Father come with us. And you see the older man kind of steps forward. He's like, No, Irina. Ismark will go with you, but the people of Barovia, they are coming here. I will need to do something to keep them, to stop them chasing after you. He kind of looks around at all of you, the gathered strangers. I don't know why you are here, strangers from another world. But you have come to a dark and terrible place. I would not have requested your aid before tonight. This is a dead land, a place of misery and death. But there is some life here. It was beautiful once. Our ancestors tell us of the great place it once was. I beg you, you have been brought here for a reason. Perhaps the Morning Lord or Mother Night has brought you here to help us. Take Irina, safe, and keep her safe, and I will do everything I can to stop them coming after you. And come, and he kind of goes out of the room. He doesn't wait for you to follow, so if you stay in the room, he shortly returns. But if you do follow, if any of you follow him, he goes into his own bedroom and lifts up a bearskin rug and a small trapdoor hidden underneath it, and he begins pulling out a chest and carries it back into the room. This is everything I can provide. It is not much, but please take it.
Friends, we have only just met, but something speaks to me that maybe this is why Madame Eva sent me to your land and brought us together. Maybe this is the start. The first thread, so to speak.
If we can save this woman from Strad, then...
You see, as Rose, when you say his name, everybody except you guys winces. They're just like, do not speak his name.
Even Jesper?
I don't know. It's up to Jesper whether Jesper winces, but the three Barovians, like, it's physical. When you say his name, they, like, pull into themselves and they, like, look around. They, like, check their shadows. Just mentioning his name puts them on edge.
I just remember being blighted, and that does make me wince.
If we can save Irina from him, then that will be worth my time alone.
I don't know who you are, but thank you.
And I don't believe that he's not killable. Everything has a weakness. we'll find what it is and we'll deal with it.
Ismark looks at you and just nods, and you can see him like nod in your direction, like, yes, somebody who thinks that, yeah, he's like, I'm glad that you are willing to help us, my lady. I'm glad to know I'm not the only, well, I guess to some maybe we are the insane ones, but as far as I'm considered, we're the only ones thinking straight.
Everything crosses to the fugue plane eventually. I shall help too.
Thank you. Strange fellows, but I'm glad for your company. And what of you, the dragons who walk like men? I know that this is... Perhaps you do not have any say in this, but I've seen this one, and he points at Zeros. A great fighter, it seems. I would be glad for your sword at our side.
Just look at Zeke.
Well, every story has an ending, even scary ones. I guess it's time we put an end to this one.
Then I will join her.
Thank you. As this is happening, you do begin to hear the sound of many boots marching. Not marching in a military procession, but a large group of people making their way towards the mansion. When you glance out the window, you can see that a crowd of, I don't know, let's say... about 12 of them, and then... Yeah, about 22 humans. All different Barovians. You can see the 3 Vistani from the inn that you had stayed in have joined them. One of them looks he must be about 6 foot tall, rippling muscles. Maybe looks like a young smith or something like that. These very taut muscles, carrying a big heavy hammer. And the group of them are marching on the mansion, and you see a small group peel off and begin making their way down a side street, and they're bearing torches, and they've got clubs and all sorts of like butcher knives and pans, anything that they can grab, basically. And they are making their way down towards the mansion.
We got ourselves a good old-fashioned mob.
Yes, there is something of a mob is approaching. Down towards
Yes, but
you.
we're gonna need to know where we need to take Arena. We don't know the way.
What is the safest way out of this town without the whole people knowing?
I have some stables around the back with a few horses, but I mean, to get back on the main road, you need to go down into the main square and then head off past the river and then down towards the crossroads. To take any other route is even more dangerous. You do not want to travel the Svalak woods at night. The wolves and there are other dark things in the woods. And he points at Jesper like, I'm sure you know. You cannot travel through the woods without greater harm. Perhaps there is something we can do. A distraction, maybe. Lure them away or something.
Okay.
Have you got anything that we can disguise Arena with? Conceal her, make her less recognizable, just for the time being.
We have some clothes. Irena's just like, what is happening? Why is there a mob? Why must we leave? What do they want?
There's not really a way to sugarcoat this. They want you, Arena, and we need to get you away from here.
Okay. I have other clothes. I have some traveling clothes and things like that, and my armor that Ismark bought me, but I don't think we really have anything like disguises. We have some cloaks and some hoods.
Please.
Those will do. Please put your armor on.
Is
okay.
Of the essence.
Very well.
Go now.
She rushes off into the closet that she was previously in, and you can see her opening things and pulling like clothes and a piece of scale mail armor out. And Ismark is like, I will go and fetch my own things. And he goes into his room and begins gathering up various pieces of equipment, a round shield, a shorter sword, a bow, torches, and a backpack and things like that. The older man is the only one kind of left with you. He's just like, there are 2 horses at the back in my stables, but Apart from that, I don't know what else we can do. If they're gathered outside, they will see you coming or leaving. I'm afraid I don't. What can you recommend? Is there anything I can do to help?
I could try and ward them off.
If you have the power to do so, there is quite a lot of them.
Dragonborn, and I'm looking at Zeros. Could I use you for a bit of theatre?
I can't act.
I just need you to look menacing.
I can act.
Let us go outside to meet this mob then.
Keep Ziki safe. And I'll head down with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go down.
Ziki, what do
I
you
guess
do?
they're coming to the front.
Yeah,
I'd wanna
you see
come.
the major group. Okay. So Ziki just kind of follows behind them.
Right, the rest
How
of us.
far away are the mob at the moment?
So, I mean, they're pretty much gathering in front of the... There's a large iron fence that surrounds this mansion with gates that then lead up to the main door. And they're pretty much gathered at the iron fencing, like the actual entrance into the mansion's estate. Like I said, you did see a small number of them kind of peel off, and you don't know where they've gone. There was probably about 6 or 7 of them went off to the side. But yeah, you make your way downstairs. The front door is still somewhat barricaded and barred from where the zombies were trying to get in. One zombie is still there, just like...
Oh, yeah.
hounding away. But the mob with its
thing.
Yeah, sure. Like, oh yeah, you guys just like strike it through, it goes in its brain, knocks it dead.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to open the doors, you can do, but yeah, otherwise you'll kind of have to like look out the window and speak to them from there.
There's a single
'cause the
exit ground floor out of this place.
There is a back door. There's a back door that goes out to the back of the house. And then there is a front door, which goes out onto the main pathway that then leads into the village itself. But there is like a kitchen back door, which has
Those
also
of
been
you-
barricaded.
Okay.
Like
Those
from
of
the
you-
inside, though. It's
That wants to face the mob and distract them will see you at the stables. We're taking the back door. Be quick, be
Agreed.
swift. The mob is slow in a group, so be faster than them.
so.
Come on, there's
Remind
no
me, who's
time.
going to the front door? So Shadow and Zeros. Is Ziki gonna follow after them?
I would like tail behind them, yeah, just in
Sort of,
case
like,
something happens.
Slowly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rose,
Yep.
Jesper, Ismark, and Irina will be the ones going to the back.
Yes.
Okay. Those of you
do
who
I
go
have
to the
time-
front, go on.
Sorry, do I have time to turn to Ziki as we go down and just be like,
Mm-hmm.
what can you do? Can you make illusion? Can you do light?
I can cause a blinding spectrum of light to cause blindness, dazzle them.
Perfect. Maybe we won't need quite the blindness, but just let's see.
Okay.
And then, yeah, can we just like position ourselves outside the door?
Yeah, so you kind of have to manually move some of the barricade that had previously been constructed, and then you open these big, heavy oak wooden doors, the front doors to this mansion. You open them up and you step outside, and gathered, you can see that almost forming like a line in front of the fence itself are dozens of dour-faced Barovians. Some of them bear the same soulless expression as you saw in the bartender at the inn you briefly stopped by. Others have looks of anger and fear, mixed with a zealot kind of energy. And there are there's 3 individuals who seem to be doing most of the talking, and they're kind of whispering and speaking to everybody as you guys make their way outside. Kolyana, the old man, Irina's father, comes with you, by the way, Shadow. He comes with you, Zeros, and Ziki. And as you begin stepping outside, one of the mob calls out. He's quite a tall, handsome, older man, probably in his sort of like 40s or 50s. His hair is salt and pepper, kind of slicked back, wears quite rich-looking clothing. And next to him are Alenka, the Vistani innkeeper, who invited you in when you first arrived in the village. And his wife. The two of them are next to this other man. Behind the three of them is this 6 foot, probably 6'4", rippling, muscled young man. But his face, he has like a very heavy set brow. His mouth is kind of hanging open, and there's a bit of drool coming out of it. But he's holding a giant hammer, and he's just kind of looking behind them. The well-dressed man kind of like holds his hands up. Is that you, Kolyana? I was hoping that you would come out to speak with us. You heard the devil's proclamation. It is not fair. One girl for the suffering of so many. Give her to us, Kolyana. You are our burgomaster. It is your job to protect our village. Irina, he does not want to hurt her. You can tell that he would take her if he wanted to do that. Give us the girl. Protect your people. Kolyana kind of stands awkwardly next to the group of you. Doesn't address the man, just kind of looks at you, waiting to see what you guys do.
Can I light some incense? So I imagine I would have like kind of one of those. What do they call it? I get like it's like
Sentia.
One of those.
Swinging
yeah,
chain.
that you swing. Yeah.
Yeah, sensia.
So I'm gonna start preparing that and just swinging it around and just muttering under my breath, like nothing in particular, just like
just
start
muttering
to the show and just and I'm gonna start kind of like walking around, just being a bit strange and in my own world and just swinging this and.
When you start doing that, the crowd does kind of murmur and whisper, and the well-spoken man is just like, "Who are these strangers? Are they the ones to blame for upsetting our lord? Who is this cat that walks like a man? And a dragon? What are these creatures that you have brought, Kolyana? They will not protect you from us or from the devil. Give us the girl. It is the only way." And then the crowd begins. Those of the crowd who still have souls kind of join in, like, "Give us the girl, Kolyana. Give her to us. It is the only way. Why should we suffer? She can save us all. Why are you being selfish?"
I'm gonna draw my sword and start stomping towards them.
Okay, they all like quickly snatch up weapons. You see the well-dressed man steps back and just pushes the giant man with the hammer forward, who's like, "Ugh."
We do protect him. We also protect the girl. If any of you come one step closer, I will start taking heads, starting with his. I point at the big guy.
Damn.
Cool. Go on, Kim.
I'll just like, on hearing that, I'll kind of raise an eyebrow. 'Cause I didn't want to ramp up that fast, but I'll be like, "I suggest you listen to my grumpy dragon friend. He is blessed by light, and this place is in dire need of that." And on saying that, I will cast light on Xeros's greatsword that he's wielding, so it kind of essentially just lights up and illuminates.
Okay. In that case, Xeros, make an intimidate check with advantage, because Shadow is helping you out and is providing some theatrics. I'm also going to roll something for myself. Okay. So you kind of bellow out to everybody, and you can see that most of the villagers are cowed by this. You can see them kind of like, they startle back, clutching rolling pins and pitchforks and torches. But quite a number of them, they look maybe like they're used to tracking like in the woods, or they're hunters. A few of them have got bows or like big meat cleavers or wood cutting axes, and they just kind of set their jaws and they growl and snarl as they kind of see you We're not frightened by the likes of you and your sorcery tricks. You're just another stranger. These are our lands. This is our land. We'll fight to protect it. And you see the Vistani and the well-dressed men kind of begin encouraging this. They're like, yes, you're right, my friends. We do not listen to these sorcerers. They are the ones who have upset our lord. They are the ones who bring misery down upon us. If we take them together, we can dispatch them. Perhaps he will even reward us. And they begin like, yeah. And it begins kind of riling them up again. Seemingly your threats now falling on deaf ears against them. Yes, Jesper.
While this is happening, can I say, let us not waste the time they have given us. Let us escape through the back door while they are distracted.
Yeah, absolutely. You, Rose, Ismark, and Irina begin making your way out the back, through the back door. When you step outside, kind of pulling all of these makeshift barricades out of the way, you open the door and it leads to a small path that leads to an iron gate and then an outdoor stables. Outside the back gate, the group that had split off from the mob before is now waiting by the stables. It appears to be about 7 people, individuals. Most of them look like villagers with rudimentary crude weapons, clubs and torches, that sort of things. But at least 2 of them look quite vicious. Maybe like wolf hunters or something like that, or like, hounds keepers. They have like these very nasty looking short hatchets. And then the other one is the daughter of the Vistani that you met earlier, who's kind of sat with them. She's kind of just sat on a short wall, kind of picking her fingernails, looking in your direction.
It does not need to go this way, friends. Please, allow us to leave.
Brother, you are right. It does not need to go this way. Why are you getting involved with these people? Just hand over the girl. It's the easiest way. We don't want to upset our lord.
How could you say that? How could you give such a person to him? You know what he would do.
Do you think that it has not happened before, brother? The reason that we are favored by him, the reason that we are given permission to leave is because we do what he asks. We do not want to upset that balance. Even precious Madam Ava knows when to bow to the Dark Lord.
Don't you bring her into this.
You are making a mistake. And she kind of, you can see that she's got like a long, almost looks like a thin stiletto knife that she's twirling around her fingers, that she's picking her nails with.
I believe you have made the mistake, and I'm going to dash at her and come swinging.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a surprise round for sure, because I don't think she was expecting escalation. So yeah, go ahead and make your attacks with advantage.
Okay, I will do 19.
That will definitely hit her, yeah, for sure.
11 piercing, and I get a bonus action dagger.
Yes, you do.
23 to hit.
You rush in, and with 2 strikes, you just cut into this girl. One kind of catches her across the shoulder, and then the dagger blade cuts across her arm. She yelps and completely taken by surprise as you clash in. I guess Rose, Ismark, and Irina will need to roll initiative, whilst the rest of the crew out the front. So we'll come back to you guys in a minute. The rest of the crew at the front, what do you guys do? Like, the initial kind of intimidation, seemingly it seems that these leaders, the kind of the more vicious members, are the ones keeping this mob together. What do you guys do?
Can I start to appeal to them? I'm going to wait to hear what Tom and Ree want to do as well, but I would like to say something, I guess, hopefully before they kick off or don't kick off.
I guess you're talking then.
So, yeah?
Well, I guess you're talking then, because it sounds like the dragons ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I guess leading on from what they said, I'll open my arms out, still kind of swinging my censure, and just say, you want to attack the ones who just scared your Dark Lord away from this place. You want to attack us. Now, I can sense you are angry. I can sense you are scared. My mistress is one of darkness and loss, and I can sense that this place has experienced much loss. Do not make that more. We will deal with this. Perhaps if you turned your violence outwards and not in on your own people, you would be strong enough.
There is a kind of silence for a long moment, and then there is just a kind of laugh. Kind of... You think you scared him away. He retreated because he knows he does not need to deal with it. If he wanted you dead, little cat, you would be nothing more than ash and dust upon the ground. He is giving us a chance to prove ourselves loyal.
You
may think you know much. Of course.
He is using you to do his work. For what? To sacrifice a young woman?
Yes, if sacrificing a young woman ensures the rest of us are safe, why would we not? And to say that he is using us in the way that the farmer uses his cows. We have no way of challenging him. We live only because he allows it. You are a foreigner and a stranger. You do not understand our land, and do not pretend to otherwise. Come, my brothers and sisters. Let us take Irina. If they will not give us Irina, we'll take her by force. And then there is a general kind of murmuring and shout. I mean, you can make a persuasion check, but it's going to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Because the things you're saying are not going to have as much impact on the people of Barovia, sadly.
That's 1.
Mm-hmm.
So first roll is an 18, second roll is a 16.
Second roll is 16. So I think that the most of the commoners are cowed enough by what you've said and Xeros's intimidation that they don't really seem to be acting. They just kind of hanging back. But there's definitely the meaner looking members of the mob are still dedicated to their cause. They're not gonna move. But the commoners and the kind of like average folk don't look like they're gonna get involved. And you see the large burly man begin stepping up to the gates, and he begins trying to like force them open. Basically, you can see him like trying to like bend the bars and the locks to give them space to move through. Going back to the other group, I guess. Rose, did you roll an initiative?
Yeah, it was 8. Let me roll back a bit.
Sorry.
7.
7. In fact, actually, it probably makes sense for everybody to roll initiative at this point. So, yes, but what did you get, by the way? 12?
12.
I think it makes sense if everybody rolls initiative now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Would I have gotten time to react while Jesper charged at?
No, because that was like his surprise round, was like him doing something like off the cuff, basically. Shadow got a 7. Zeke got a 3. Poor Zeke.
Straight up 3.
Straight up 3. So those of you who are at the front, you're not necessarily in combat already, but you can sense that, yeah, these people don't look like they're willing to listen to reason at this point. They don't seem particularly convinced that you are more of a threat than Strad is, or that saving Irina is worth putting themselves at risk. And they're trying to get over the fence. Is there anything you'd like to do? There's probably about,
No.
I'd say, 10 people who look like they're gonna come over the walls, plus the large man.
Are they well armored? And they well armed?
So they have like leather jackets and jerkins. They've got hatchets and long knives. These look like pretty rough, outdoorsy types, like woodsmen and woodswomen. A couple of them have like large two-handed axes. You're not sure how well trained they are, but they definitely look more dangerous than common villagers.
Keep on stomping forward.
Okay. So, I mean, if you continue going forward, you're going to be at the gates where they're currently trying to get through and storm over.
Wait, do I have an action first?
You can do it. I mean, it's your turn. You can do what you want. But I'm just saying, 30 feet will get you to the gates.
Well, I'll do a hold thing. If someone goes for me, I'll attack back.
Okay. All right. Sure. Right. Okay. So, the first wave of thugs at the front and the back begin to kind of surge over. Some of them start trying to climb up over the fence. Some of them are trying to help the big man kind of break the gates open. It basically takes their whole turn to do that. They're not going to get to attack or anything like that. But by the time they're finished, about 5 of them have climbed over the gates, and the rest have managed to help the larger man break the gates open and open them up so that the rest can charge through. They are just, they look directly towards you with a very murderous intent. The ones at the back, there are 2 at the back. After seeing you strike at their Vistani comrade, they are going to try and turn on Jesper, I believe. So he's going to swing with what appears to be like a kind of studded billy club towards you, Jesper, for 21.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then the second attack, however, will only be a 12.
No, that won't hit.
All right, so you take 5 bludgeoning damage as the first blow kind of swings in, and this studded billy club kind of smacks you across the face, but then you manage to leap back and parry as the second blow comes swinging in. The other one's going to pull out, he'll pull out like a crossbow, and he'll aim it in Rose's direction, seeing that she has a ranged weapon, and he'll try and take a shot at her. For 19 to hit. I know, but you'll win.
Yeah, that'll hit. What a bitch.
5 points of piercing damage as he thuds as the arrow scrapes across your thigh, scraping and drawing a thick line of blood. They finish their go. After they're done, Kolyana, the older man, with you guys at the front, so kind of got split scenes jumping to and fro cinematically. Kolyana just looks at Shadow and Zeke and is like, "You must run. Join your friends. There's no way that you can fight them all off, and these people haven't done anything wrong. They're just scared. Just go!" And he snatches up a torch from out of his pack and he lights it, and he turns back towards the house with the torch.
Will you be safe?
"I will slow them down. You must leave. Go! Get my daughter to safety. Take her away. Protect her from the devil. Please!" Rose, we jump back to you as he does that. Sorry, Jesper, actually. So we jump back to the back where Jesper, you've just been smacked in the face. You turn around. You've got one of these thugs and the other Vistani woman right in front of you.
I'm going to shout to the people that aren't engaged in the battle, like Irina, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Please,
I mean, yeah,
run.
Ismark is pulling his sword out. He's like, shing!
Run! I can get away. Just run. And I turn to
nods.
The girl in front of me.
Uh-huh.
See what Strad is doing to us. Let us not let this end in more death. Let us go.
Strad, you are the one who is defying him. As you guys, your blades cross. Cool.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to use my mobile feat, which means I can make a melee attack and then get away from them without any opportunity attacks.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm going to do one without the intent to kill anybody. So I will
you're doing
attack
non-lethal damage.
I will attack the guy that just hit me. Non-lethal damage, possible. Which is a 15.
To hit him? Yeah, that'll hit him. He doesn't appear to be really wearing any armor. He's just got a leather jacket on, basically.
And I will just kind of flourish away and start running back to the rest of the group.
Yeah, so you kind of slap him with the flat end, the flat side of the rapier, kind of slap him across the head, and his eyes kind of ring for a moment as he looks around. And then you're going to kind of dash away. Are you dashing away down the street, or are you going to try and run towards the horses in the stables?
I'm running kind of and goading everyone to follow me to escape this town.
Okay, all right. Rose.
Ignoring the fact that I just got shot, I don't want to kill them, so I'm gonna run towards the stable where the horses are. How many horses are there? There are 2, did you say?
There are 2 horses, so they can carry 2 people each.
Okay, so how far is it to get there? Can I dash and get there?
No, you can just get. If you dash, you'll get there. Easy.
Okay. Can I untie the horses probably.
Yep.
I don't know. Can I drag Irina with me and still get there?
She will follow you on her turn. So yes, effectively, like she'll just take her movement with you now.
Yeah, I want to basically take
okay.
both of those guys and just get them towards the horses, and I want to make sure that she gets on a horse with her brother, and then I'll get on the other one.
Okay. Sure. So Ismark will go with you. He looks a bit more like he wants to fight, but he'll look after his sister mainly. As you make your way for the stables, yeah, you can see two horses. Neither of them have their saddles, but Ismark and Irina don't seem to be that bothered. They kind of start just kind of getting up on the horses to ride it anyway. It will make it more difficult for anybody else who, if you get caught in like a chase, riding it without a saddle will make it harder, but putting a saddle on is going to take time, which you don't really have right now. You also, as a reminder, yes, but your wagon is currently, you had a wagon with some horses as well, but it's just currently at the back of the inn, which is just down the road from here. So you can always dash to make it to your wagon as well. He's making a very confused looking face, so I'm just going to assume that he heard that. Yeah, but yeah, Rose, you get to the horses, you untie them, and yeah, you can help them. You can help Irina and Ismark up onto one of the horses. No problem. Chasing after Jesper comes Mirabelle, the Vistani, who is just kind of lashing out at him in a kind of frenzied rage at this point. That is going to be a 11 to hit you, Jesper.
No.
Followed by a 14 to hit you.
My armor class is 14.
That will hit you on the second attack. So the first one you managed to parry with the rapier, but then she kind of drops the stiletto, grabs it in the other hand, and kind of jams it into your side, causing 5 points of piercing damage. It just kind of cuts you along the side, but it's enough to kind of wince and wound you a little bit. And then she'll use her bonus action to disengage. No, she can't disengage and move. So she'll just basically stay locked in combat with you for the time being, and just kind of say like, "Quickly, get over here! Help me deal with him. We can grab the girl later." But you can see the other thugs are eyeing up Irina, not really listening to her as they do that. All of the common folk that were around seem completely bewildered and don't seem to be taking any aggressive actions. Either through the threats of what Xeros and Shadow have said, or at the back, the kind of words that Jesper's said, they don't seem to be particularly motivated to fight either side. They're just kind of avoiding it, looking panicked and scared, and they just kind of shuffle around. Ziki, what do you do? So you can see Xeros is kind of stood in front of the gate, but the old man is like, "You must go!"
So I'm going to move up to Xeros and just like motion to him to say, "Come, we need to leave. We need to go now." And then I'm going to cast color spray towards the crowd that are coming in our direction.
Yeah, sure. So what do I have to do for that? So describe us.
So a dazzling array of flashing coloured light springs from your hand. You roll 6d10, or I roll 6d10. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you affected in the ascending order of their current hit points. Ignoring unconscious creatures. All that stuff. There's no saves or anything to make.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So just roll 6d10, and then tell me the total.
6d10. 5 and 1. So that's 25 in total.
Okay.
I imagine it like she's like dipping. Oh, sorry. You
go on. No, you describe it. Yeah.
I was imagining because she carries like painting supplies by her hips and belts and stuff. And I imagine she like reaches into a bag and like pulls out and just dips her 3 fingers into red, blue, and red, yellow, and blue pigments, and then she just blows on them on this like powder pigment, and as it flows out, it becomes like a spectrum.
Perfect. So you watch as this dazzling cone of light engulfs, and it engulfs several of these hunters. And quite a lot of the common folk behind them. The large man kind of shields his eyes, and you can hear him kind of grunt like, "No!" As the light washes over him. He seems unaffected. A couple of the hunters kind of like clutch their eyes. They're like, I can't see! What has she done? The dragon witch! Kill her! Kill her! And they're kind of like squinting around. But there's still quite a few of them who the spell washes over them, but doesn't quite have the blinding effect as you hoped. But it's enough to slow them down temporarily. if nothing else, as they try and help their companions. Several of them kind of stumble in the way of others who are running towards you, knocking them off balance, kind of sowing chaos amongst them, basically. Xeros, what are you going to do?
I guess I am. If Zeke is leaving, then I will follow. I think that's pretty much the approach I'm going to take. And they haven't attacked us yet, so I'm not going to fight back.
Okay. So I'm going to drop us out of initiative because I think what's going to happen here is you guys begin rushing your way back through the house. Kolyana waits until you've all rushed in past him and are heading out the back door. And you see him slam the big heavy door, and then all the discarded barricade that you'd moved out the way, he begins lighting it with the torch. And he just begins setting fire to it. And you can see his eyes are streaming with tears as he does it, and he's kind of muttering something to it under his breath. He's like, Anastasia, I'm sorry. As the flames begin spreading, and he kind of looks at his house beginning to burn. And you can hear the cries of the people outside, like, trying to bash on the door, but he's holding it shut as the fire is spreading around him, and he's just kind of holding the door back. He's like, he calls out once more. He's just like, take Irina somewhere safe, as you begin making your way out the back. As you emerge, you kind of see the scene that's been happening with Rose, Jesper, Irina, and Ismark, where this mad dash towards these horses in the stables is ongoing. You can see a couple thuggish-looking fellows, one with a crossbow and one with a cudgel, are trying to beat on Jesper, and one's firing a crossbow towards the horses, trying to take out the horses' legs. As you guys kind of come careening through the back door, with a surge in numbers, the thugs quickly kind of back off as you begin all kind of charging and making your way down the main street up towards the village square of Barovia. You can hear the mob and the crowd calling and shouting and screaming as they begin trying to follow you. Some of them begin trying to make their way around the mansion estate, but trying to make their way through the whole building is going to take them enough time. You guys sprint down these dark, dead streets. There is a moon, but it's hidden behind thick layers of cloud, so seeing is almost difficult. You're having to judge distances through just the vaguest shadows that you can see. And eventually you come across the inn, the Blood on the Vine inn that you were at before. Irina and Ismark are on a horse and have careened ahead of you, but are kind of waiting for you guys to catch up. Rose, you have space on your horse for one other person. Who do you want to grab?
Oh, my mic is off.
Oh, you're muted, Katie.
It was in case the sirens, in case the cops
Yeah, no, it's
came
fine.
in
It's
again.
good.
So I think seeing everyone else come through, she would probably, knowing that Jesper does have a wagon, send him on the horse ahead with Shadow. Probably she would probably insist that Shadow gets on the horse, and then she would run behind with the dragons, so that he can get a head start in getting that for the rest of them.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So with that, you can see that the Vistani girl, Mirabelle, and then the two thugs, they've hung back, but they're calling out to their comrades like, come on, this way, they're going this way, towards the inn, and they're kind of pulling it. And you begin to see these little dots of orange flame as the torches of the mob begin filtering through the buildings. And the buildings here, there are streets, but the buildings there's little narrow alleyways between them. And you just begin to see more and more people appearing at these alleyways, like darting towards you as you all desperately run, making your way there. Jesper, you get to your wagon, still hitched with two horses, and the group of you can all mount up and begin riding your way out of the village of Barovia. I'll move you guys to a bigger map. The mob chases you. You begin to hear the sounds of dogs, like kind of barking hunting dogs, are being gathered. You can hear the sound of horses being prepared, but you have enough of a lead. The last thing you see as you begin, as the galloping hooves of the horses pound against the worn stone and dirt road, the last thing you see as you look behind you is a single building on the edge of the town burning, completely aflame, orange and black smoke drifting up to mix with the black clouds above. You pass over a stone bridge as a powerful and winding river courses beneath it, and you begin to see and hear the sounds of the mob fading away behind you, as the path takes you between thick forests of gnarled and twisted trees. And that is where we will end today's episode.
Oh my.
Man.
Pretty action-packed one, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too
All
good
that
about
victory.
that. I wanted to take the old man with us.
Well, yeah.
need
He,
to burn it
well,
down.
did he is he dead? Is he alive? You don't know.
I hope he is.
He is Strad.
Yeah.
He is Strad.
Plot twist.
I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, so a bit of a starting off lots of combat, lots of rolling dice, but that's how D&D goes sometimes. Can't always
Oh,
be.
no, I think we need it
and
to-
social.
To figure out our characters
Settle
and
in.
how they actually work.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
These new classes, new subclasses. And all
Figure
sorts
out
of
how
things.
hard it is
It's
to
cool.
heal someone.
Oh,
not
shots
sure
fired.
about that one.
Um,
I love you,
My God,
Tom.
he-
nice,
bolts hit.
and you've also now kind of gotten to see the more grey nature of Barovia, where you know those people are genuinely just trying to look out for themselves, and they're like, yeah, but one girl, all of us. That seems a sensible call to make.
Yeah.
And Strad is
Utility.
not beyond. Yeah, and Strad's not beyond leveraging that sort of mentality amongst his people.
The
as well.
sheeple! Wake up, sheeple!
Wake up, sheeple! Open your damn eyes!
Yeah, and I love particularly for me, I love the confidence of Shadow of like, we just scared Strad off. I'm like, yeah, I love the fact that you think that. I love that.
Well, she's a
Keep
naive
thinking.
little kitty, isn't she? She's a naive little
No.
kitty. Also,
it's also-
Kim thought
to you
she
guys,
still
that's-
had a spell slot for calm emotions.
Oh, did you not have that? That's a shame.
No.
Um,
Wait,
It's fine.
you sent me out
that would
there.
now that
thinking
would have
you
been
had a spell
impressive.
slot.
I don't know. Shut up.
It was hard
had other
not to go
plans.
full. It's hard not to go full Ayla and just be like, I hit him, because
hit
Rose
him.
wouldn't
I hit
do
him.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. I can't wait for Rose to
hopefully I
find
don't
out
do
that
the
Irina has bite marks on her neck. That's what I can't wait to find out. So,
Yay!
because I think she's the only one that would know that. How you guys feeling? It's second session, obviously still settling into characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Good.
much fun. Holy shit.
All
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm loving
Having
it.
a good
I
time.
want to try and make sure everyone gets some time to chat as well next time. So make sure that everybody gets their moments. But I think you guys
Yeah, I
are,
was gonna say, sorry, Rhiannon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I left
No,
you
no, you're all
sleeping.
good.
dude,
That's all
that
right.
was
But at
like
the
one of
same
those
time,
really.
That's the game.
you
That's the
would
game,
do.
dude.
Like,
Yeah.
just
It is- yeah,
from
and
knowing
that's
him
it, you
from
were
a very
role-playing.
small amount of time, you did what Zeros would have done in that situation.
like-
Yeah, exactly.
Safety.
Which
Won't
sucked,
have to get into
but-
trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the game.
Um,
That's the game.
Yeah, it's also one of those shitty things where it's like, I'm going to cast this spell, and I can cast it in this area, which will affect these people. Right, okay, how much do I roll? Well, that's enough to knock out him, because he's only got 9 hit points. Right, who's got the lowest HP? Like, oh, Rhiannon, I'm sorry. And then it's just like, night, sleepy time.
Nah, it's all
Yeah.
good.
But, yeah. I mean,
Well,
I could have
you're
done
alive.
worse things. There's far worse
Exactly.
things that Strad could have done, but he couldn't risk certain actions. So,
I did
it's
have an
got double
idea.
that blight.
I had an
What
idea
idea
of
did you have?
casting protection from evil and good on Irina.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
Which would have
Gonna do that.
which
I was
would
gonna do that too.
stop her, yeah, from being frightened and charmed and possessed. So yeah,
Yeah, I
Those are
have
cool
that
ideas.
as one of my Monster Slayer things.
nice.
Shame you guys were at the back.
Yeah,
Didn't see her. We didn't actually know what was going on.
didn't
We
ever
just
see it,
was
no.
like,
I
so
got to
saw
heal
a
Jessica
devil.
though. I gotta do that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, big heal as well. 18. I
Mm.
still
Yeah.
killed
Needed
no
that.
one.
You did a lot of damage.
Yeah, you
Um,
did, yeah.
And yeah,
Stole it.
very. I think that yeah, there's very clearly something. Jesper knows something a little bit about Irina, although he doesn't quite know what, which I think is a good sort of like hint towards some stuff. And the rest of you. So I guess like yeah, my last question before we kind of wrap up is. What do you guys think is like the next steps? Like obviously you've been given this immediate task, which is protect Irina. what do you guys think is the next thing, or like what is the next plan that you guys want to do? So like Jesper's mentioned going to see his master, Madame Ava. Is that something you think, right, we'll do that and then we'll figure out from there?
Yeah.
I think that's
Get
pretty
some
much what
answers.
I was thinking, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and that'll be
We've
a
also got a
way
time
of like
limit now.
Yeah, got
Well,
3
I
days.
mean-
Pretty much.
I mean, you've got 3 days to deliver Irina to Castle Ravenloft. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
You could
Speed
you
run.
could do that.
3 stinking
Sure.
days.
Sure. Okay. Yes, I definitely. Yep. Sure. Yep. 100%.
You know what?
Let's
We
go straight
tried.
up to Castle
Jump.
Ravenloft. Yeah, just knock on the
I
door.
mean, you can.
knock on his door.
absolutely can. You absolutely can. Take Irina there. That'll be swimming. That'll be wonderful. I'd love
Come
that.
on, Irene.
Then we can have a
Lovely.
party.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you very much, everybody at home, for joining us for another episode of Curse of Strahd. I think the plan is to put
Do we
these out on
have
Mondays
donos?
for YouTube. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I don't have it up.
donations.
So if somebody
I do.
can... Tommy boy.
XX Paladin, glad I could catch the stream live for once. Kim is the best player no matter what Trot says.
Kim, stop
Exactly.
donating!
Raging Rhino 10101010101. I feel like it isn't a great omen when someone goes down in the second combat round of a campaign where the dice were not favouring Mark. Even if you are fighting the final boss a bit when you are level 3, you utter mad lads. Thanks for the top tier content. Varus donated with no message. Thank you very much. Goes to Sprinkles. Hey guys, absolutely loving the campaign so far. Thank you for being a beacon of hope. Puns. They put that in there. That was me. During this dark time. Much love. Stay sand and wash your damn hands, you nasties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
fair. I just went back and checked that blight spell, by the way. Rolled 2 1s and 2 2s and severely under average for the damage. So
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
pretty
quite
lucky
lucky.
there.
Wow.
You're pretty
Damn,
lucky.
And you only had 6 left, right? After that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ren Harrell, my Wi-Fi is absolute garbage right now, so I'm out for the night. Roll high and kick ass, guys. Don't let Jesper die. The Harley Evans, I almost caught you guys live this time. I'm an hour behind on the VOD. Next week, I'll get there for sure. Anyways, here's 10 buckaroos. Thank you very much. Ravager with a quarter hundo. Hope you're all having a great Thursday. Thank you guys once again for making my week bearable. Between Erois, Curse of Strahd, and Chaos Twins, you are all keeping me sane. Chaos Twins isn't helping with that. Jeremy, Ree, I know where you are. I will come find you. Oh, it's Jeremy. It's Jeremy. That's a Chaos
fuck!
Twins thing.
No!
No! Say. Oh my
I was going to
God.
say, that was so ominously creepy.
It was.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Nightjar. Guess who did a dumb and donated to Yogs? Anyway, so we need to work out how to get Mark a voice changer for when all this is over and you're back in the office. For reasons.
I'm up
Yeah?
for it.
Want a voice
I
changer?
don't think that will ever work, but sure.
Spooky. Ashlow. HR team, thanks for another very entertaining session. Katie, Kim, and Ree, you are looking amazing with a full goth get-up. The rest of you
Thank
need
you.
to up your game.
Yeah.
I agree.
I've got like a
Where's the
dark red
eyeliner,
shirt
boys?
on.
Black t-shirt.
Where's the
Got some
eyeliner?
on.
I
a hoodie
suck
and a
at
Huel
swoopy
shirt on.
eyes, and I did it
You got a
anyway.
huge
Boom. Spooky.
shirt on.
Zen Blaster with 3333. Oh man, Strad can be so pushy. Excellent work, everyone, fending him off this time. Thanks for the stream. Everyone, stay safe. And finally, this one's finally this time. Johnny H with a quarter hundo. Still slowly getting up to date with the VODs, and love that you're plugging along and looking forward to the new campaign. Thank you, everyone.
Boom. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the bits. Don't forget to join us on Sunday for our regular game, Erois, 5 p.m. UK time. We will be back next Thursday for more Curse of Strahd. We'll be back on Tuesday for more Chaos Twins. You can check it all out here on the High Rollers D&D channel. It's all good, baby.
Check out the Patreon.
Thanks very much,
if you want
boys.
the episode early.
Do you
Wait,
want
you just
another
listened to the episode. Ignore me.
reminder? Another reminder of when this goes out on YouTube and podcast.
Mondays. Goes out on Mondays.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes it might not be Monday.
Yeah.
Looking at Kim and
It'll
Tom.
be out.
It was a bank holiday this week, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
YouTube is
Podcast
definitely
Tuesday,
Monday.
YouTube is
podcast
definitely Monday.
different. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Tuesday for the podcast. Tell your friends.
Okay. All right. There you go. Monday for YouTube, Tuesday for podcast. There we go. Bam. Done. Madness.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Thank you, Chris Trott, once again for running all the tech stuff. And
Yes, thank you very much.
That's it. We're done. It's time to go. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.